Barcodes can be expensive and confusing for beginners, so in this video, I'll show you how you can avoid having to buy a UPC barcode altogether by applying for a GTIN exemption for your products on Amazon. But first, my name is Crescent, and on my channel, I share tips and strategy videos just like this one on how you can create a successful Amazon FBA private label business. So if you enjoy videos like this, consider subscribing. All right, let's get started. So before I get started, I just want to state for the record that I don't suggest using this method as a long-term solution. Always get a UPC barcode for your products. However, if you're trying to save some money in the beginning, then you can certainly use this approach. For example, if you're just creating a test listing or you just want to see if there's any potential restrictions on a product idea. I have a separate video on this, which I'll leave a link to in the video description below. In the long term, if you're planning to sell a product, especially outside of Amazon or in retail brick and mortar stores, you'll need to have a UPC barcode for your products. You can buy barcodes directly from GS1. They're $250 for up to 10 barcodes, and there's a $50 annual fee. So as you can see, they're pretty expensive. However, you can also buy them from authorized resellers like Nationwide Barcodes or Barcodes Mania for less than $10 each, as you can see here. There's also a coupon that you can use to save an additional 40%. I've never had a problem using these barcodes or heard of anyone having any problems. The only time I've seen problems is from people buying barcodes from places like eBay, as there's no way to know if they're real or unused. Okay, so if you'd like to avoid buying a UPC barcode, you can apply for what's called a GTIN exemption on Amazon. All right, so if we jump onto Amazon's resource section, you can see here exactly what you need to do to apply for a GTIN exemption. So there's only certain specific situations where you can apply for a GTIN exemption. And if we scroll down, it shows here that it applies for private label products or handmade products. So in this case, we're doing private label products, so we're allowed to apply for a GTIN exemption. Now, if we scroll down, you can see here that it says how to request for a GTIN exemption. And it says here that you need to have a product name and a minimum of 2 images showing all sides of your product. So make sure you have that handy. It also says that you need to have a support letter from the brand owner, manufacturer, publisher, as well as number 1, 2, and 3. But you actually don't need to have these, and I'll go through the actual steps here in a second. Now, if we scroll down, it says once you have all this information, you can click on the Apply for GTIN Exemption page. So let's do that. Now, once you're on this page, what you'll need to do is select your product category. So click on this, and let's just say we're doing home and garden. And then over here it says, what is the brand and publisher? So since we're doing a generic private label product, we're going to put generic. Click on check for eligibility. Now on the following page, here's a slight change to what the GTIN exemption did before. So you can see here there's a note and it says exemption is provided for brand and category. You will be able to add as many of your products on Amazon without having to apply for an exemption again for that brand or category. So now this GTIN exemption is a blanket exception for an entire brand and category, meaning it's not product based anymore. So once you get approval with this GTIN exemption, you're actually able to add as many products as you want under that same brand in the same category. So if you have a different brand or you're selling a product in a different category, you'll have to apply for another GTIN exemption for that brand or category. All right, so now you can click on continue to submit proof. And here's where it's asking if you have that support letter, and you can just say no. And so now it's going to ask you for a product name. So let's just say we're going to do a can opener, and we'll just call it a stainless steel can opener as the product name. And now you're going to have to upload those 2 photos of your product showing multiple sides of it. So if we click on the first image here, you can come here and click on one of the photos that you're going to upload, and then click on the second one and choose another photo and click on submit request. All right, now it shows that the request has been submitted and you're gonna have to wait at least 48 hours. Now, in my experience, I've gotten these requests approved sometimes as quickly as 20 minutes, but usually it's been around 2 to 4 hours, okay? But as it says, it can take up to 48 hours. All right, so once your request is approved, you're gonna get an email from Amazon. So this is the approval request that I got from Amazon for that can opener. And it says here that your request for the GTIN exemption for the home and garden category has been approved. Please wait 24 hours before you start listing your products. Now, You're gonna have to wait sometimes it's like an hour or two, and it may actually take up to 24 hours before your GTIN exemption will actually show up when you go create a new listing. And I'll show you how to do that now. So once you've waited at least an hour or two, you can try adding a new product to see if that approval has gone through. So log into Seller Central, and you're gonna wanna click on Inventory, Add a Product. And if you scroll down, you can see here that you wanna do create a new product listing. And if you have a GTIN exemption request, you can check the status of it here. So just to show you, if we click on that, you can see here the request that I've made and the one that has been approved, as well as the one that's still pending that I just did. Okay, so if we go back to the Add Product page, what we're gonna do is choose Create a New Product Listing. For private label products, you never wanna enter a product name or UPC code in this field. You always wanna choose Create a New Product Listing. Okay, so the easiest way to choose this category here is actually type in your product. So in this case, a can opener, and it's gonna pull up the categories for you. And since it's a manual can opener, I can just choose this. And now you're gonna have to enter in a product name and the brand name. And you'll notice that these two fields are required because they have a red asterisk. And you'll notice that the product ID field, which is normally where you need to enter the UPC barcode, now no longer has this red asterisk because this category has the GTIN exemption, so it's not required for me to enter a barcode. Now, normally if you don't have a GTIN exemption, you'll have to choose UPC here and enter a valid UPC barcode. But again, since we've been approved for this category, we no longer need to do that, okay? So you can enter your name, brand name, and move on. One thing you're gonna have to do though is click on Advanced View. And if you scroll down, it's gonna ask you for product exemption reason. You're going to choose from this drop-down menu and choose Custom Bundle Product. All right, and that's it. Now, one thing I want to make clear is that even though you've got this GTIN exemption now and you didn't have to buy a UPC barcode, you still need to put an FNSKU barcode on every one of your units. Okay, so make sure you're aware of that. And also just to clarify, there's no longer an expiration for these GTIN exemptions. So once you've been approved, they no longer expire, whereas about a year ago, you had to renew it every few months. Okay, so Amazon's made this process a lot easier than it was before. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and if you'd like to learn more about UPC and FNSKU barcodes and how they apply to your product, check out these videos here. All right, thanks for watching. If you found value in this video, you know what to do. Hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And to make sure you never miss a video, be sure to click that bell icon to turn on notifications. There's also a link in the video description below to our community forums, which you should totally join. And as always, thanks for watching.